What's up, guys? Another replay here from the SCPH community. StarCraft Philippines represent as we come on by introducing our players. On the bottom left, we have the red Zerg that is going to be Deneb. On the other hand, here on the top right, Insatiable. Gonna be ready to go with that blue Protoss. So guys, I am running low on replay, so it would be such a good thing if you could send in your own to gamesarepool.gmail.com. It's a gamesarepool@gmail.com, and just put in the title about your replay, describe it. It's usually in the post itself on the Facebook, so details are there. If you guys want to book a head-to-head as well, feel free to just PM my page at facebook.com/dakscast. Your content becomes content that we can use to further showcase the community. And I really appreciate everyone who does still play StarCraft and StarCraft 2 in the country. But anyway, just a few things to note in StarCraft news. Not really much. The newest one was about the AI. Deep was against two pro players. One of them though was a little bit of an off race. And the thing to note was DeepMind did have observer vision, did have a few things in the bag, but it was really cool to see an AI learn so much against these two players, and it was able to get a 10-1 score, so not bad at all. There was a pretty notable difference when DeepMind was actually in a player perspective rather than having observer view, but the micro was completely on point. That's what you get for an AI in the first place. But yeah, on human news, not really much new. Again, guys, if you are still playing StarCraft 2, you might want to be practicing for the oncoming SEA Games, the SEA Olympics, or for some part, it's an esport event with a medal alongside things like Dota 2, I believe. So, yeah, StarCraft 2 getting the limelight that it deserves, not just in the Philippines, but also in the SEA region as well. But enough about that, let's talk about the game. Deneb has been able to make his second base already. On the other hand, the second base being built by Insatiable. Both players looking to tech up, no real rushes out of the gate for now. Does know that his opponent is going full tech over getting some units, so he is gonna be allowed to get that third. Pretty greedy stuff here from Deneb. A lot of economy gonna be going his way. So Cerulean Fall LE gonna be an easy expansion on the second, as it's a ramp still. Can go for the third here on the outside, or go on a quick little expansion, go via Crusade to take the high ground for a potential third or fourth, depending on how you play it. But here we do have Insatiable just blocking the view, looking to maybe put a proxy gateway, a proxy starport, a Stargate rather, to just try and disrupt Deneb and his mineral line. Maybe an Oracle could be a good start, as this patch is from an older one, so I believe the Oracle changes aren't here yet, but it is what it is. We'll be able to see in just a bit. An Adept is already out here for Insatiable. On the other hand, Deneb gonna get the metabolic boost to allow those Zerglings to run around and be such pests. Units though for now, just a few queens. I have some Zerglings as well. Not really notable here for the side of Deneb. This really goes to show that both players are playing the economy game. On the other hand, Insatiable gonna be getting that second gateway, and of course the warp gate research should be up and about in just a bit. Now, as I was saying, it's gonna be an Oracle built up, but interesting note is Insatiable has decided to build the Stargate in his base and go for a Phoenix opening first. This allows Insatiable to not just get some scouting, but also hunt down those overlords and try to creep lock Deneb as he goes. So yeah, the Armada gonna be the opening here for the side of Insatiable, and it's gonna be a pseudo 1-1-1. Gonna have a robo facility up as well, maybe some warp gates, maybe some warp prisms rather, and maybe some immortals might be useful into the next. So instead, Insatiable gonna go for the long journey with the Oracle. This allows the Oracle, yes, to get a lot of energy along the way, but at the same time, we might see some Spore Crawlers ready to go. Instead, the Queens are in position to take care of the Phoenix first. Here come the Spines, a lot of hits. Insatiable not really microing that one, and that's gonna be the Phoenix falling along the way. But on the other hand, the Oracle gonna be able to be a little sneaky here. Will it be able to get to the secondary base? An Oracle versus a Queen. Second and third Queens are here right now, and the Oracle did not see that one coming. Insatiable gonna back on out instead. In the meantime, we see a few Zerglings on the outside, but of course, Insatiable is already prepared with that one Deneb blocking their way. Warp Gate, though, is still in production, so no real reinforcements if these gateways aren't going to be queuing anything up. Now, this one probe, looking around, maybe another pylon going to be built here by Insatiable sometime soon. On the other hand, Deneb still playing patiently, doesn't really want to go up because he's not really sure what Insatiable has in the first place. Now, gonna check if there is a third or a fourth. Not gonna see one there, so Deneb knows it's just gonna be a quick low entrapment here for the Protoss. Looking at the vision though of the Insatiable, he just does have everything from his base, that small part there. The Oracle now spotting the third, and this might be the opening here for Insatiable to just get some economical damage to go. In terms of minerals though, Deneb is quite ahead, getting around 300 minerals per minute. That is a significant advantage because of that third base. On the other hand, here comes the brawl, and no, Deneb easily taking care of the probe, looking for the scout, putting up down the pylon, but nope, Deneb saying no to that, doesn't want to allow Insatiable out of these two bases. So with Insatiable on the back foot, not only in terms of picks, but also in economy, he is forced to go for a shield battery. Always a very good defensive opportunity here. Shield battery is very, very strong. A StarCraft 1 building ported into StarCraft 2 more or less recently. And it's a really, really potent addition to the Protoss arsenal. It's basically a shield battery. You charge up your shields if they're low or down, and that does give your units a lot of tanking potential. So it's like a pseudo medic here for the side of the Protoss. We have a stasis ward set up by the Oracle, and like this, ready to just entrap any Zerglings that come on by, go for the run by, and maybe look for some scouting. So yes, the third base now safely built by Insatiable, but of course, as a Zerg, your one rule is always be one base ahead, and then I'm gonna get his fort already. A lot of creep spent so far. The creep tumors are just abound, and the queens are in position to just you know, poop them all out. Yeah, then I'm just still waiting on. No real upgrades here. We are gonna get Carapace or the Carapace for the Zerg units on the ground. Makes them a little more tankier. We also have +1 in terms of range here for Deneb. So this does entail this Hydralisk Roach opening might be a composition that he's just gonna go forward in the first place. Now, so Ham Templar here for Insatiable, and he is gonna go for that Psy Storm. So in the meantime, the Observer seeing everything that is to be observed in this main base. A lot of gaze being built. Here comes the Immortals as well. Will we actually get a few more Phoenixes to deal with the Overseers and the Overlords? No. So in the meantime, we see some double pumped upgrades. The +1 for both armor and ground weapons are done. So +2 are coming simultaneously. Good sync here for Insatiable. I like that they're gonna be coming online at the same time. So you get +1 in your damage and -1 to your damage taken. A pretty easy math selection here for the side of the Blue Protoss. So Stalkers now being warped in to deal with this Overseer. Did we actually get a Changeling from Deneb? Okay, let's actually find out. No Changeling in possession. All in the Fog of War in the first place. But Deneb now gonna go for the run, looking to try and get the Great Migration of Zerg units to the other side. Looking at their army count, it is Deneb quite ahead in terms of the supply, but of course when you're the Protoss, your supply does matter a lot more in terms of value. Work count right now, so many probes and so little time, honestly overcompensating here for this third base. Insatiable looking to get that fort as soon as possible. Another Stasis Ward bit up by the Oracle, and I like the potential of these stuns. The Stasis Ward gonna drop soon, but this might be the timing here for Insatiable. A little bit of luck for the Blue Protoss. If Deneb runs on by right now, here they come! The Zerglings gonna get Stasis up, and that's gonna be a big stun there to get rid of the front line. Some Zerglings into the furnace, and this might be a surround now from the Blue Protoss, waiting for the Stasis Wards who come offline. The time stop here onto this book of Zerglings might be the opportunity for Insatiable to cut them down. Here comes the surround, and here we go. Execution time, entrapped, and cage. Good play here from the Blue Protoss. Unfortunately for him, he did take a little bit of damage from the Psy Storms, of course, but that's what the shield battery is for. Just get him a little more tanky. One of the Zealots taking a little fatal hit, but it is what it is. He's fine. Just losing a few limbs in the first place. But for now, again, another scary composition here for Deneb. This is gonna be honestly really hard to deal with for Insatiable if he doesn't tech up a little more. Because the Overlords are also in position, might go for some drop play potentially if they get some Ventral Sacks into the next fight. Corruptors into the game, very useful with the Corruption, just dealing with the buildings, making them less tanky, easier to kill. On the other hand, Insatiable looking to get to that 200 mark, and now the army supply has swung in favor of the Blue Protoss. This might be the classic 200 supply attack move with all your units and win the game for the Protoss fleet. Now +2 for ground here on the side of the Blue Protoss, +2 in range and armor for the ground units of the Zerg. So they're pretty even, no one ahead in terms of the tech, and it is gonna be another stall between these two players. So I feel like this game might be here for the long haul, guys. 4 bases still built up here by Deneb. On the other hand, Insatiable gonna get his fort already ready to go, as well as well-fortified 16 workers into play. And that was what the investment of those probes were for in the first place. Now he can just fully saturate this base so quickly. A good transfer from the main as well. You don't need too many probes in the main base, because those are your safest minerals in the first place. So Colossi now coming on by a few more upgrades. It's gonna be Thermal Lance coming on. Gonna be a lot more heat for those giraffes. Gonna have observer speed, as well as he does have one just in the thick of things beside all the overlords. Luckily for that observer, no overseer into play, but he does need to stay away from the spore crawlers. Now looking at the base of Deneb, we haven't actually been here for a while. He's already on Hive Tech, has a Great Aspire, and looks like he's gonna go for the +1 and potentially some Broodlords into the next fight. There you go, Broodlords are already flying around. A really good tech up here from Deneb. It's just because Deneb has noticed that Insatiable went for a transfer of tech. He switched off going full flyer and decided to go for ground instead, so the Broodlords can go for some snipes. Artillery units pretty well here for the side of the Zerg. Here comes Insatiable now looking to cook up some Zerglings, and the Corruptors looking on the left hand side. Good Psy Storm there, but that's a lot of damage onto the ground, and the High Templars just walk into that one. Insatiable messing up the Riker right there, and the Giraffe's gonna be paying the price, but this is gonna be some good Psy Storms now coming from the High Templar. You can feel the lightning, you can feel the thunder just tear asunder all these units. The beasts are gonna be forced to back on out. Deneb though able to get away with those Broodlords. Those are a very big investment, so at the very least Deneb getting out with something in that one. But such a heavily fortified base here for Insatiable, working out in his favor. The Psy Storms at the end, pretty crux, and it does allow the Blue Protoss to still tech up and go for the turtle. Now what should Insatiable do now? He does have the opportunity to attack, but a really big and reinforcement wave is coming on by from Deneb. 6 Ultralisk, gonna get some more armor here. Did he even get the Ultralisk upgrades for armor and speed? That is the real question. But of course, Ultralisk, a very scary unit. I always love seeing the elephant into the room. It's just like a bull in a china shop, but it's one bull you want to destroy everything with in the first place. Here we go, another fight. Oracle coming on by looking to get the patrol, and he's gonna put up a stasis ward. One of the zealots, way too valiant, gonna get chewed up, but there's the Psy Storm, gonna connect stasis trap, connecting onto the Zerglings as well, but the Ultras doing a lot of damage, and that has to be the Blue Protoss backing on out. Another reinforcement wave coming from Deneb, and that is what the Zerg is so used to doing. They have so many minerals and gas to float with, and behind that, each time of these attacks, it's gonna be the Zerg queuing up all those eggs, ready to go with some more units, but rally pointed in. But Insatiable now gonna play the aggressor. This might be a little dangerous, but the Broodlords are left alone. Sick transfusion there from the Queens, but the Broodlords still falling one by one. Psy Storms into play. Here comes the Zerglings now into the backline to get rid of the High Templars, forcing them to turn into Narcon Stalkers in the middle, Immortals in the front, and these Stalkers need to go onto the Broodlords instead of the Broodlings. Poor marker here from Insatiable right now. The Archon's so able to clean up, and the Archon Warp at the end just gonna be able to keep the Blue Protoss alive. This game is actually really hyped, guys, as Deneb now looking to back on out to the creep, get some movement speed, and get a little bit of regeneration along the way. The Zealots though with the charge, the Hydra is gonna get the spines on out, but no, they're gonna get chewed into bits by the Psyblades in the first place. So Deneb now able to retake the advantage as Insatiable takes one step too far into the creep line. But still, Insatiable does have a number of gateways into warp gates, so he can just queue up some zealots and go for another fight. Already, Broodlord Cocoons gonna be into this one, and it's gonna be a really bad fight for Insatiable because he has no anti-air. Speaking of the air, here comes Deneb, Broodlords into play, the Corruptor's backing on up, and that's gonna be Insatiable forced to go by his base. A lot of good fights so far between these two, but now Insatiable is on the back foot. Deneb smells it and is out for blood. The Colossi trying to stay alive, but of course the Ultralists are very strong against the Thermal Lances, and the Corruptor is able to just shoot freely onto these tall units. Now server into play. Where are the Void Rays? Insatiable was queuing them up, and here comes the Golden Armada. Gonna be the Nerazim focusing down with their crystals, prismatic alignment on point, and there's a lot of damage now being done by the Void Rays. But speaking of damage, one of the Ultralists running rampant in the backline, looking to go for the cannon. Interesting enough, could have done a lot of economical damage onto these probes in the first place. But there you go, Insatiable and Deneb again, another standstill between these two. The Red Zerg though, gonna have a quick little slowdown in his production as he is running out of minerals, 600 minerals compared to 1k here for Insatiable. So yeah, another stalling tactic for between these two players. But if Insatiable just knew that there was no attack wave coming one more time, this could have been an opportunity for him to actually attack. But it is what it is. Deneb now gonna get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases. A big number here for the Zerg. Insatiable behind by 2, but can go for the expansion at any point in this fight. Where would he expand? A good expansion could be here by the corner, pretty far off from the fight in the first place, but is on the low ground. On the other hand, he can still migrate to this left hand side or in the middle of the map. Gonna be a little closer to his reinforcement wave coming with the tech that he does have built up. But it really depends on what Insatiable is planning in the first place. Already one of the bases, his main base, completely mined out in both gas and minerals. So yeah, Insatiable floating around with these probes, honestly dead weight if you don't use them for any worker purposes. Honestly, I feel like this might be the turning point of this game, because Deneb is doing something Insatiable isn't. He's being very proactive. He's getting these expansions because he knows the minerals do not regenerate in this map or in any map in the first place. Ultraless upgrades now here for Deneb, and I always love to see the plus armor and the plus speed into the next fight. Now we will get +1 in shields as the 3-3 for the ground units are ready to go. +1 for the Void Rays, and every other aerial unit might be ready for the Blue Protoss as well. As now we have a stairway to heaven kind of feel. It's gonna be a Side Storm in the front. The Zealots is stacking it up, but the Hydralisk in a huge amount of number, able to clean up the front lines. Void Rays though, ready to go. Here comes the beams, here come the zaps, and Insatiable gonna be able to clean up here. But then now still on the attack. The Hydralisks are very quick and are able to slither their way to get 3 of those Void Rays before the fight ends. So yeah, another fight there, another back and forth, but Insatiable now a little bit behind. Tempest now into play, and if you guys don't remember, Tempest aren't as capital shippy as they were before. They're a lot less tankier in the first place. They have a good amount of speed with them upgraded as well, but yeah, it's not really your slow tanky type kind of unit. It's more of good for kiting, get the balls out, then go for the A move. A little stutter step will go a long way to keeping these Tempests alive. On the other hand, already army supply and workers in favor of Deneb due to the number of bases he has. Unit skill though, Insatiable really ramping those ones up. Minerals still going the way of Deneb. Just look at how much he gets compared to Insatiable in the mineral count, able to just keep a steady flow of units. And one thing to note is Deneb doesn't float too much resources in this game. He does float, of course, when he is at 200, but the moment these all die, he's ready to queue up some units, get a good composition, and go for the attack. Speaking of the attack, this is gonna be a dangerous time here for the 5th base of Insatiable, because this might be watership down, airship down, and the Nexus down. Here they come, the Zerg army in their full glory. 200 of supply, and this Nexus immediately broken. How scary do the Zerg look in this one? Insatiable now gonna be behind in terms of supply. High Templars into play, but they don't have side arms too much yet as they're just recently warped on in. Good carrier hits coming on by from the capital ships, and the Golden Armada absolutely shining in this one. Insatiable gonna be able to hold, yes, but Deneb is ready for a next attack wave. I think in this game, guys, the moral of the story is you're playing an RTS and you're not playing a tower defense, because this is going to be a situation where Deneb is going to be the waves of the attackers. On the other hand, Insatiable getting a lot of tech and a lot of towers, but it might be a futile result into the next one. But Insatiable now looking to go on the attack, looking to spawn camp the oncoming wave attackers. Gonna get a good hit on the creep tumor, the observer able to stall out the spread of the creep all throughout the map. What I would give though, to see a professional game that's Zerg versus another race, but the whole map, even the main base of the opponent is covered in creep. Wouldn't that be an amazing sight to behold, especially for all you Zerg fans? The carriers now tossing out those interceptors, and looks like the units on the left hand side, the ultras out in front, they're trying to tank up for the hydras. But this is a little bit of an awkward fight for Deneb. If he goes for the A move, the hydralists cannot really focus fire on the carriers because the interceptors are in the way. The spore crawlers trying their best, but their best ain't gonna be good enough. Now Insatiable with the Golden Armada tech switch, I really like this for the side of the Blue Protoss. He knew he was losing the ground game, so swapped on over to these carriers. Gonna be queuing up a few more Tempests and another carrier along the way, and of course the interceptors are just auto-casted. Unfortunately for Insatiable, he is running out of minerals because he lost so many probes in that last fight, and even though Insatiable looks really good now, he's not really looking too good in the bank. That was such a big hit there from Deneb, and I feel like he doesn't know it yet. But Insatiable now gonna come in from the high town, looking good for this expansion base. I already lost count on what number of bases Deneb has, but that's gonna be -1 in the scheme of things. In the meantime, oh, it's gonna be a base race because Deneb has decided, I am just gonna go for the attack, screw the defense, let the ships come. So this Protoss is gonna be losing his expansion base, the one that is supplying all the minerals, and that is actually another big hit even for the attacking wave, because these carriers need those minerals to keep queuing up the interceptors. So we shall see who will win this out. The Protoss trying to clean up. In the meantime, here comes Deneb now, just getting the swarms around. So much damage being done. The carrier honestly completely useless. Gonna get a few interceptors out, but without the mineral flow, without the cash, you ain't gonna get ka-ching. Here comes the attack onto the main base. Deneb and Insatiable looking to just try and split up as much damage as they can, but the concentration fire here from the Zerg just a little too more compared to the Protoss. Look at them, they're running out of units here for the Blue Protoss army, and they're gonna be losing supply along the way. Deneb on the other hand just gonna be able to keep queuing those up, and Insatiable is out of gas. No more heavy units. The only thing left he can build are carriers, and yeah, this is heartbreaking here for the Blue Protoss. If he just decided to go for the defense instead, a strategic recall would have been absolutely amazing here for the Blue Protoss, but it's just not happening, and Deneb now completely in control of this one. This might be the Red Zerg taking it, because Insatiable has to deal with so many bases along the way. On the other hand, look at this! Deneb decided to take the old bases of the Protoss for himself. This is actually a very smart strategy for Deneb, because this is where most of his army is in the first place, can protect it out. Finally, the strategic recall into play, and Insatiable gonna be able to get some damage done. But it has the crucial hit, has the cripple come here from Deneb. Insatiable looking to back on out, trying to use the edge of the map to stay alive, but Deneb gonna decide to just go climb down the stairs. He has done all the damage that he needed to do in the first place. Insatiable though able to get a good number of minerals here from his hidden base. Now looking back to this whole scenario, Deneb with the advantage, but he is very behind in tech. He only has hatcheries around the map, and he's gonna get the spawning pool as well. So this is a really good time for Insatiable. If he gets rid of all the hydralists in this fight, that's game over for Deneb. So one of the hatcheries gonna be under attack, the second one already broken up into bits, and finally the Blue Protoss finding the form that he needs, but he does need some gas here on this base. On the other hand, Deneb gonna reinforce his instant tech base. Like, Deneb has decided, okay, I can lose everything except this one, because his spawning pool is already into play. He's gonna put a lot of spore crawlers around, gonna get that lair tech up as well. And I really love seeing a reset here on the 24-minute mark. It's just a really mad scamper between the Blue Protoss and the Red Zerg. So what will Insatiable do? He got a good reinforcement wave with the Zealots, yes, but of course the Ultras are gonna easily decimate these ground units. Now on the other hand, this base Very, very productive. Getting a bunch of workers into the fight. The Zealots now hopping around, trying to see if any more hatcheries are a ninja expansion. But no, for now, Deneb looking to just back on out with those drones. Deneb doesn't really want to lose these drones too much because they are very, very useful in staying alive and keeping the economy game in favor of the Zerg. But on the other hand, this Zealot has already spotted it out and just like a robber, gonna charge on into the vault. And here comes the damage again. The carriers, look at this. This carrier, 28 kills, 35 kills, and 22 kills. Looks like Insatiable putting on a show for us, and this game is pretty hype. But now Deneb gonna decide, I'm gonna go on the attack one more time, and so many spore crawlers. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 spore crawlers in just this one base. A Hydra Den gonna be built up, and we have the Hydralists are ready to defend this one. But of course, the Zealots can easily clean this one up, and the Ultras now on the attack. Gets the supply box onto the blue Protoss, and here comes the Hydras again, just marching on by. The Tempest does get 1, does get 2 kills, but it ain't happening. Bad stuff here for the Protoss for now. A lot of action being done between the maps. So here comes the strategic recall one more time to try and defend the main base, but this time the Ultralisk is just going to be able to shrug off the damage coming from the carriers. While the carriers are very strong at swarming enemy units, when you have high armor units like the Ultralisk, the low amount of damage the interceptors do in the first place is quite nullified even if you have the maximum number in the carrier bay. On the other hand, the Tempests are quite strong in getting those hits because it's more of a burst kind of thing from the Tempest. It's a one-time, big-time kind of shot. So Insatiable is still in this fight but is looking pretty lukewarm. On the other hand, this is a all-in here from Deneb. He loses this, he loses the game. He keeps this up, gets 200 Hydralists, he wins the game. Insatiable though, still a little off. I feel like what Insatiable doing is a little off. He's not gonna be able to expand with just one base. He doesn't even have this fully saturated. He's getting gas right now for his units that don't really come. So yeah, pretty tough task here for Insatiable. I feel like I'm doubting Insatiable a little bit, but just in the trade of that base race, it's just a little off-putting for the Protoss. Now he's in a situation where he has to do this instead of being on the high ground and instead of having the advantage of the defense with the strategic recall. Now Deneb just going back and forth like a seesaw. He doesn't want to overextend. He doesn't want to give too much out to get these carriers, Tempest, and this one Void Ray. While this is honestly the elite of the elite, at the very least 7 kills as I see for the lowest amount on that Tempest. This has been the elite unit of the Protoss Armada. When you go back to Shakuras, this has to be a big commendation. The question is, are they gonna be coming back home in one piece or into pieces? As Deneb spots the expansion base, this is the biggest hit. This Ultralisk has roaming around the streets of New York, spots out the workers, and this is just gonna decide to cleave on up. Strategic recall for one Ultralisk, but this is a huge amount of damage as Insatiable cannot afford to lose probes in this fight. Deneb now just being so cheeky, putting up a hatchery here of all things, and he didn't see that one. So for now, we do see a small split every time Insatiable misses out on a recall unit. Deneb is gonna be easily able to clean that one up. Laretech into play. We're waiting for an infestation pit here for Deneb. He has slowed down his resources though, as most of the units are just hopping around. Where's the hatchery? Oh, I think it just died. The hatchery got caught in the end. Now Deneb hiding again, looking to find a spot to call home. But home is where the heart is, and the heart of the swarm is on this right-hand side base. This might be a good time here for Insatiable though to go on the attack. Gets a few shots onto the Hydras. Where is the Zerg army? Here comes the split, interesting enough. But Insatiable trying to go for the crawl. Here comes the damage. Good snipes from the Tempest. He gets a little too close for comfort. And yeah, Insatiable cannot be this close with the Tempest. He can just go for the snipes with the Interceptors and the Tempest. But on the other hand, Deneb has had enough. Looks for a quick little goodbye onto the upper left base, and this might be the economy of Insatiable completely shut down. The Great Depression is here, and Insatiable is feeling it. Deneb right now coming on to the high ground, looking to chase after those probes. On the other hand, here come the Flyers doing the damage that needs to be done, but the Spore Crawlers getting some good hits, and every hit these Spore Crawlers have onto those interceptors is a resource that Insatiable does not have to afford. He cannot afford to spend too many on these interceptors because he doesn't have a real income coming his way. Where are the probes now working on the base? There is nowhere to be found, and 630 is just slowly dwindling. Here comes the last Nexus point broken down, and Insatiable doesn't have a home base anymore. Gonna be a really long base race between these two players, but Deneb has these hatcheries around the map, and if he can be pesky with this one, he can just build on the simulator. No more reinforcements. This is the whole shebang here for the Blue Protoss. Gonna be revealed up, and then Deneb knows that if he cleans up all these buildings, it's gonna be game over. See the squares just flashing on the minimap. Insatiable in a last hurrah, a blaze of glory, just like the campaign mission, but it might not happen because the Zerg is just hiding around the base, looking to try and make another one around the map. Another hatchery here from Deneb. That's gonna be just such a pest. He is out of minerals though, so this might be the last one that can potentially change the pace of the game. The Zerg just getting a few more hits onto the buildings, and this might be game over. Yes, it is! That's gonna be Deneb taking the win. Insatiable having such an elite core of flyers. Damn, Deneb. Just so cheeky. Just so cheeky. Even building up the hatchery at the end could have been a little close there if Deneb got his hatchery spotted, or if he needed to cancel it. I think that was Insatiable's to win, but what a game. I honestly don't know which one should be my highlight, because that game is extremely hyped. A lot of moments along the way. But yeah, I mean, you guys will see what the highlight is when I release this shit, but yeah. Wow. What a game, what a game. GG both Deneb and Insatiable. Thank you for sending me such a wonderful replay. Unfortunately, guys, I believe this is the last replay in my vault. So again, please send in your replays at gamesarepool@gmail.com. It's been fun. I'll see you guys in the next one.